Oh, hey guys, sorry. Hey Tammy. Who else is here? Hey Mama. Hey Great Dane. Put the link in there for you. Uh, who else is in here? Hey Just Shell. Hey Patty. Dragon Mama. You have to wait for Saturday to have Valentine's Day. Why? He's one of those. She says my husband says it's just another day. And you stop giving him cards due to a husband. Look at it and toss it. What a jerk. Hey Cool Gamer. Hey Deb. I did. I wrote it in the Discord. I swear to God, I did, Deb. You're pouring your grape juice. Do you have it in the wine glass? Hey, how you made it. Yay. Oh, there she is. Hey, girl. Great Dane Mom. Hello. You're rumbling. That's about it, though. Let's see.
Strange app website not see
She,
every see
oh no, you keep cutting out, love. Hey, Brandon. That's what I thought I was doing was the blood count test, and I think I'm wrong. Oh, I'm sorry you're having a rough day. Hey, Kimmy. Can you talk about Great
there
Dane
a
Mom?
way to turn up the because I can you.
So weird. I keep getting bits and pieces of what you're saying. It's like, hi, you.
Turn up, give me 2, 3 how to rejoin.
Okay. What the hell was that? That was freaky. Yeah, sorry you are. I thought I was doing that. No, don't be sorry. Because I almost thought was like messed it up. Does anybody know about Madame LaLaurie? Delphine? If you've ever seen American Horror Story, you would have seen this. It's a top. Um, Patty, my ghost friend, wanted to say hi. I don't know, because something just went off on my phone, and I've never heard that before. Oh, you're having tacos? Yeah, man. She was a freak and a half. I'm telling you. Oh my God. Literally killing all those slaves just to put blood on her face because she thought that it would keep her younger. Hey, Garrett. She's a New Orleans legend. Oh, co-host is here. She's getting her purrs on. Claire, look up or something. Oh my, she's too busy admiring herself. You've never heard of her before? Have you ever seen American Horror Story? That's the only way that I ever heard of it. I know, I'm just gonna start. I just picked a page and I was going to just read it. It's pretty long. It's pretty gross, so trigger warning. Claire needs Walter. Did you see? Oh, you're turning on your laptop? Ah, gotcha. Okay. Oh, say hi. Did you see Walter's live today? He had his little tux on. It was so cute. She had flower petals all over. Oh my God. And she had that song, like Hunka Hunka Love. Was a child raised in Louisiana. You guys should. Yes, that is the most haunted place that I've ever heard of. Is the Myrtles Plantation. She's saying that she's turning on her laptop because the volume was too low. I don't know when she was up on piano, just coming in and out. So I'm just gonna read a little bit before she comes. Uh, oh yeah, my red top. Yeah, I got this a while ago. It's by Calvin Klein. They actually still make decent stuff. So it says here, inside her New Orleans mansion, Madame Delphine LaLaurie tortured and murdered untold numbers of enslaved people in the early 1830s. It, if being a slave wasn't enough, she was torturing them and holding them hostage in the attic, draining them of blood for her fat fucking face. Right, Claire? In 1834, at the mansion at 1140 Royal Street in French Quarter of New Orleans, a fire broke out. The neighbors rushed out to help, offering to pour water on the flames and help the family evacuate. However, when they arrived, they noticed that Madame LaLaurie, the woman of the house, seemed to be alone. A mansion without slaves seemed shocking, and a group of locals took it upon themselves to search the LaLaurie mansion. There she is. When firefighters entered Madame Laurie's mansion, they found her enslaved workers, some of them horribly mutilated yet still alive, while others were dead and simply left to decompose. That is disgusting. Psycho bitch. Hey, Felony Melanie. So you actually did you get the notification this time? I hope so. Oh, just 1 minute. Yeah, Kathy Bates played her. That's why I said big fat Bates. I love Kathy Bates though. I don't think I'd ever go to the Myrtles Plantation. It was on Unsolved Mysteries, and that was scary enough. Um, I might look around. I don't know. I'm into that stuff, but the place kind of scares me. Where'd you have dinner? You can have dinner at the Myrtles Plantation? No way. I don't know. I actually never checked. Does anybody know if there is any movies about this? Because I'd be interested to watch it. Yes, I did hear that. That's what Great Dane Mom is supposed to be coming up here and talking about. That Cage did buy it. Yeah. You were thinking about honeymooning there, Tammy? Yeah, the slaves was in the house. Oh my God. She was rumored to be beautiful. Yeah, the Myrtles Plantation. Um, so what they found would forever change in the public's perception of Madame Marie Delphine LaLaurie, once known as a respectable member of society and now known as a savage mistress of New Orleans. The horrific details of Madame LaLaurie's crimes. Trigger warning, guys, because from what I've read and what I've seen on shows and stuff, it's pretty bad. The rumors have muddied the facts throughout the years, but there are a few details that have stood the test of time. First, a group of locals found the slaves in the attic. Second, they had been clearly been tortured. Uncorroborated reports from eyewitnesses claim that there was at least 7 slaves, beaten, bruised, and bloody to within an inch of their lives, and their eyes gouged out. Okay, I didn't know that. Skin flayed, and mouths filled with excrement, and then sewn shut. Okay, I didn't know that. Wow. Can someone put trigger warning in um the chat, please? I mean, like I said earlier, as if being a slave wasn't enough. What the fuck? One particular disturbing report claimed that there was a woman whose bones have been broken and reset so that she resembled a fucking crab. Okay, these are really bad. And that another woman was wrapped in human intestines. This is a monster. This isn't the savage girl of New Orleans. This girl, this thing is a freaking monster. She's Jack the Ripper. Oh my God. The witness also claimed that there were people with holes in their skulls and wooden spoons near them that would be used to stir the brains. I could definitely use a beer now. Go for a beer, Claire. So there it is. Witnesses said that some Madame LaLaurie's enslaved workers had their eyes gouged out. Okay, I just read that. I'm not reading that again. But there it is. That's the house. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but doesn't this house still stand today? It's like an attraction site, apparently. Thanks, guys. Oh, so sorry. I didn't hear the beep. My bad. Sorry, I didn't hear the beep.
That's okay. Hi, everyone.
Hi, everybody. So this is Great Dane Mom. She's going to help me with this.
I will do my
I did
best.
this. I don't know. This stuff that I'm reading. I didn't know. Did you hear my big mouth reading? If so, then you would have heard what I said. It was disgusting.
Mm. I heard part of it. Some is true, some is legend.
Yeah,
Um,
that's what they're
the
saying.
worst atrocities have not been proven,
Yeah.
but even what
Ooh.
was is horrific.
It is. I mean, it's bad enough that these people were slaves, but what she did to them, I mean, I don't even really have words for that.
Mm. We don't have basements because of being below sea level.
Yeah, you're in New
Most red
Orleans,
houses
right?
have. Yeah. Well, actually, I'm from New Orleans. I've moved 5 hours away. I'm still
Okay.
in Louisiana, though.
I've always wanted to go there.
It's a very unique city in the country. It's completely
Hmm.
different.
Really?
The history, the way of life, everything.
Wow. So
Can you
I'm
hear
just
me all
gonna leave.
right?
You have stuff that you wanted to show too, like the Nicolas Cage stuff and whatnot.
Well, Nicolas Cage had bought the house in 2007.
Yeah.
Supposedly, he only spent one night there. He bought it for 3.45 million, and then 2 years later, it was foreclosed and sold. But he
Wow.
did. He does have a plot in St. Louis Number One Cemetery. He he built a tomb. So
Yeah.
one day, he may or may not be there. But I didn't. I'm not sure on my laptop how to put up those links that I gave you to the 2 YouTube videos.
Okay, I can tell you. You can YouTube keeps yeeting you. I'm gonna punch YouTube in the face. Okay, what you can do is go to whatever link you have up on your computer or your laptop, and you can actually at the bottom of the StreamYard, it says present.
Oh, okay.
And then when you go to present, say go to share screen, and then you can share that exact tab. I just have to okay it on my end. YouTube like hates Melanie. It's stupid. I don't get it.
see. I'm going to go to YouTube since I'm in Streamline so I can get those links, and then you can let me know when you want them.
Oh, we can do that right now.
Okay.
Whenever you want.
Give me just 1 minute to find it. I don't know how
Deb,
much you've discussed her
just
history.
the very beginning of it.
Okay. Because I was going to explain why she's considered Creole.
Oh, is she
Today,
really?
yes. Today, someone who's Creole is someone of European, African, and possibly Native American, any combination, but they have to have the African in it. Back when she was
Yeah.
born in 87, the description of a Creole was someone who was white, of European descent, who was born in the colony. And New Orleans was actually Spanish held at the time. So she was considered Creole on that basis because it was a delineation between who was born here or who just immigrated here.
So you could be white.
You were white Creole way back. Now it's more considered African Creole.
Yeah, that's
And
what I
my
always
friends
thought it
that are
was.
Creole actually are very, very, very light skinned.
Yeah.
And it's an area of town, the Seventh Ward, where a lot of the Creoles lived that you could not tell whether they had any African blood in them or not.
Yeah. I remember watching I'm always watching. I'm always watching something or reading something. And there was a girl, she was African American and she was Creole and she carried around this voodoo doll and was kind of cuckoo. Um, do they deal with voodoo? I
They
would think
still,
no, but
um,
I don't
I'm not really sure how prevalent voodoo is in New Orleans. It's very underground. Uh,
yeah.
I do have some videos for a voodoo priest who, when we do Marie Laveau, I can bring up, who said that she was probably not a voodoo priestess
Yeah.
be- because she's not very big in their culture history. So we shall see.
Yeah. Always wondered about that.
Okay, I'm still scrolling down to find those videos.
Okay, I'll just keep reading this article until you find your stuff and then I'll pin it up for you.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. There were other rumors that there were dead bodies in the attic as well. Their corpses mutilated beyond recognition, their organs not all intact or inside their bodies. And then they show butter. Really? Some say there were only a handful of bodies, others claim that there were over 100 victims. Either way, it cemented Madame LaLaurie's reputation as one of the most brutal women in history. However, Madame LaLaurie was not always sadistic. Delphine de LaLaurie was like before turning her mansion into a house of horrors. So she was born Marie Delphine McCarty in 1780 in New Orleans to an affluent white Creole, that's just what you said too, Creole family. Her family had moved into the island to then Spanish-controlled Louisiana a generation before her, and she was only the second generation to be born in America. She married 3 times and had 5 children, whom she said to attend to lovingly. Her first husband was a Spaniard named Don Ramon de Lopez y Angulo, a Calabero. Oh my God, this is a mouthful. De la Royal de Carlos, a high-ranking Spanish officer. The pair had one child together, a daughter, before his untimely death in Havana while en route to Madrid. 4 years after Don's death, Delphine remarried, this time to a Frenchman named Jean Blanc. Blanc was a banker, lawyer, and legislator, and was almost as affluent in the community as the Delphine's family had been. What was that?
Oh, that was a friend calling to wish me a happy Valentine's Day.
Oh, okay. So Inna was most as affluent in the community as Delphine's family had been. Together, they had 4 children, 3 daughters, and 1 son. After his death, Delphine married her third and final husband, a much younger doctor named Leonard Louis Nicholas LaLaurie. He was not often present in her day to life and mostly left his wife to her own devices. In 1831, Madame LaLaurie purchased a 3-story mansion at 1140 Royal Street in the French Quarter. As many society women did at the time, Madame LaLaurie kept slaves. Most of the city was shocked at how polite she was to them, showing them kindness in public and even man-mudding 2 of them in 1819 and 1832. I have no idea what man-mudding is, so if anybody else does know, please let me know. However, soon rumors began to spread that the politeness exhibited in public may have been an act. What happened behind closed doors inside LaLaurie Mansion? The rumors turned out to be true. Though the New Orleans had laws, unlike most of the southern states, that protected slaves from unusually cruel punishments, the conditions at the LaLaurie Mansion were far from adequate. The scene at LaLaurie Mansion was so horrifying that a mob soon chased after Madame LaLaurie and drove her straight out of town. There were rumors that she kept 70-year-old cook. There was rumors that she kept her 70-year-old cook chained to the stove, starving. There were others that she was keeping secret slaves for her doctor husband to practice Haitian voodoo medicine on. There were other reports that her cruelty extended to her daughters, who she would punish and whip if they tried to help the slaves in any way. 2 of the reports are on record as being true. Oh, shit. What happened here? I don't know what the hell just happened, but this thing just screwed up on me. There. I just want to check this real quick. There we go. There you go. You can play it on your end. I'm just going to mute myself so there's no echo.
Come on.
Oh no, what happened?
I messed up.
You messed up.
I'm learning.
Yeah, no worries. Voodoo and hoodoo with Catholicism. There we go.
Now, how do I hit? I can't get it to play.
You got to press play, not me.
Many of our local cemeteries become a tourist attraction all their own. Today we visit probably the biggest tourist attraction when it comes to cemeteries, and that is St. Louis number 1. I do have to start off this video by saying that as of the filming of this episode, which is November of 2021, St. Louis Cemetery number 1 and 2 are still closed. They've been closed since the beginning of COVID, and we don't have a timetable on when they'll be open again to the public. So please take that in mind when you look at different tours and activities. So in normal times, this cemetery can be accessed only with a licensed tour guide or permission from the Archdiocese of New Orleans if you have family here. This rule was put into place in an attempt to control the high amounts of vandalism that had occurred at some of the tombs. I, for one, agree with the effort since the location is on the National Historic Register, and with good reason. St. Louis Cemetery number 1 was established in 1789, and it holds the distinction of being the oldest existing cemetery in the city of New Orleans. In 1788, the city of New Orleans suffered a number of significant setbacks, including the first of 2 great fires, and an epidemic that taxed the already full cemetery located on St. Peter Street. In response to concerns from physicians about the spread of disease, the acting government of the city ordered the earlier cemetery to be closed and a new cemetery to be established further away from the population. The church selected a 300 square foot parcel bordering marshy swampland outside of the confines of the fortified city, and about 40 yards from the rear garden of where the then located Charity Hospital stood. That was to be the site of the new cemetery. The cemetery was initially constructed as a temporary burial site, but was soon after approved as permanent by Spanish royal decree on August 14, 1789. Following the convention established in the St. Peter Cemetery, in 1803, a city ordinance was issued mandating that all forms of interment occur above ground in an effort to deal with the low-lying landscape of where the cemetery was located and the constant threat of flooding. This was not quite as problematic inside the ramparts of the city. Though the mandate was not strictly followed, it did help advance the style of tombs we're most familiar with today here in New Orleans. Through heavy use throughout its early years, the cemetery expanded from the confines of its original footprint, eventually reaching directly up to the ramparts of the fortified city. Following the Louisiana Purchase in 1803 and the Haitian Revolution of 1791 to 1804, the demographics of New Orleans' population shifted dramatically. Americans came from the northern states, and most of them were Protestant. And thousands of refugees from Haiti arrived with a mixture of Catholic, Caribbean, and West African-based religions. The cemetery was enlarged to accommodate this influx, with an additional parcel of land added to the rear of the original footprint to use as the Protestant burial ground, and adjacent to the space allotted for the burial of African Americans and other people of color. In June 1832, the New Orleans City Council set upon a plan to extend Conti, Treme, and Basin Street in a way to cross the land occupied by the cemetery. The church wardens and city surveyors supervised the work to transfer the burials within the way of the extensions to within the smaller planned footprint of the cemetery. The current main entrance gate dates to this road project. By 1838, the majority of the remains in the Protestant section had been relocated to the Girard Street Cemetery. Look forward to an upcoming episode on that. And in 1840, what was left of the section on the west side of Treme was sold as building lots. Today, only a small strip of the Protestant section remains bordering Treme and Conti Streets and is now under the care of the New Orleans Catholic Cemeteries. In 1975, St. Louis No. 1 was listed on the National Register of Historic Places and having a national level of significance in the areas of art and architecture. It was later listed as part of the African American Heritage.
Okay, the pyramid is Nicolas Cage's tomb.
Oh, really? That there? Oh, wow.
Yes, he'll show the front of it.
That'd be cool.
Trail by the state of Louisiana in 2008 due to the large number of historical and currently significant African Americans that are interred within the cemetery. So who's buried in St. Louis No. 1? Well, let's start off with one of my favorite characters.
He's going to go through several famous people that are buried there and end up with Madame LaLaurie.
This is going to be Bernard de Marigny. He was born in 17.
Hey, Brenda, pause.
Within government and school systems after Louisiana was traded to the Americas in 1803. So, no list of the various famous people buried in St. Louis Cemetery No. 1 would be complete without mentioning the notorious actor Nicolas Cage. While he remains alive, that didn't stop Cage from preemptively commissioning a tomb to be constructed in New Orleans' most famous burial site. So as we move down our list, we want to talk about Plessy versus Ferguson. This is the U.S. Supreme Court case generally known throughout the United States. It was referenced in the 1954 U.S. Supreme Court when it passed Brown versus Board of Education. This is all about Homer Plessy. But who was Homer Plessy?
A New Orleans native, Plessy was born in 1862 to two white parents. His great-grandmother had been brought to Louisiana from Africa, making him 1/8 African. Like many other gens de couleur libres, free people of color in New Orleans, Homer Plessy's family passed as white, but Homer refused. Plessy, on behalf of the Citizens Committee, purchased a first-class ticket on the East Louisiana Railroad in 1892 and sat down in the whites-only section of the car. Plessy protested the violation of his 13th and 14th Amendment rights.
I wanted to add, since he's 1/8 of African descent, back then, and it's a term that is still kind of used in New Orleans, but because it was never used in a derogatory manner, like the N-word, he was considered an octoroon. Octoroon, OCTDRDOON, I believe. OCTROON. When we get to Marie Laveau, she was a quadroon because she was 1/4 Black. So there were quadroons, octoroons, and they would have their own balls so that white aristocrats could meet them and come to an agreement, and they were kept women. They were not, they were people, they were free people of color. They were very, very light, and they were the kept women. So I just thought I'd throw that in since he brought up about being 1/8 Black.
And promptly found himself in court against Judge John Howard Ferguson. Plessy was deemed guilty, and the case rose all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court in 1896. Another name that people may know is Paul Morphy. Better known as the unofficial world champion of chess, Paul Morphy literally changed the game of chess during the 19th century, and he did all this before the age of 20. He later suffered a head injury and early death at his home and is interred in the cemetery. Next on our list of who's who is Etienne de Boer. He was treated to the custom of French Creole boys in the French colony and shipped off to France for his education. In fact, his ancestry was so well off that upon completion of schooling, Etienne was named one of the King of France Musketeers. Etienne de Boer, having already been a King's Musketeer and captain of the cavalry in France, successfully granulated sugarcane in the year 1795 and changed the production of sugar and plantation life forever. When the Louisiana Purchase was signed in 1803, Etienne was named the first mayor of the city of New Orleans. Of all the people interred within St. Louis Cemetery Number 1, the tomb of Marie Laveau is probably the most visited and most talked about. She was born in 1801. Marie Laveau was a free woman of color in New Orleans. Legends and rumors have surrounded Marie for centuries. She was referred to as the Voodoo Queen. By the time of her death and interment in 1881, the city of New Orleans were convinced of her immortality.
Well, I hope you enjoyed our look at St. Louis Number 1, the oldest cemetery in New Orleans.
I like his accent. It's cute. There's some questions here. Do you know if Marie Laveau was buried in St. Louis?
No, she's actually buried in St. Louis Number 1, and he just showed her grave. That was the one with the X's. On the next video, they show an up close of another close. I'm sorry, I'm stammering. I had a bad migraine today, so I'm going to stutter.
Oh my God, I get them too. Yeah.
Not nerves, it's just and in the next video, you'll actually see a woman taking something metal, carving X's into her grave, her tomb. But I did want to show those because it's unique that New Orleans buries above ground.
Yeah.
Our family plot in Metairie Cemetery is actually raised. It fits 6 coffins, 3 across, 2 rows. So you will see a lot of above ground tombs. The ones in Metairie Cemetery are beautiful. These are not as upkept as those. But if you want to continue, I'll get that other video and I'll let you know when it's ready.
Okay. So want me to just finish reading the article?
If you want to, because I
Okay.
have to scroll down my save to watch later list to find it. So
Oh, boy. I can read this. Ugh, got a clear hair in my mouth. All right. Anyways. Oh, yeah. I'll read this then.
thank you. I'm
So
not trying
one.
to control it.
No, you're not. We're doing this together. So we have to kind of figure out, what we're going to do. So yeah, I'll just read this until you get your other one. Then we'll play that one. Okay.
Okay, sounds great.
All right. So one that wait, where did it? Okay, so two of the reports on the record are being true. One, that a man was so scared of punishment that he threw himself out of a third-story window, choosing to die rather than be subjected to Madame LaLaurie's torture. Holy crap. The third-story window was then cemented shut and is still visible today. The other report concerned a 12-year-old slave girl named Leah. As Leah was brushing Madame LaLaurie's hair, she pulled a little too hard, causing LaLaurie to fly into a rage and whip the girl. Like the young man before her, the young girl climbed out onto the roof, leaping to her death. Holy shit. Witnesses saw LaLaurie burying the girl's corpse, and police were forced to fine her $300 and make her sell 9 of her slaves. Yeah, because I don't even know what to say. Of course, they all looked the other way when she purchased them all back. After Leah's death, the locals began to doubt LaLaurie even more than they already were. So when the fire broke out, no one was surprised that her slaves were the last to be found, though there was nothing that could prepare them for what they found. I'm assuming there's another trigger warning needed. After the slaves were released from the burning building, a mob of almost 4,000 angry townspeople ransacked the home, smashing the windows and tearing down the doors until almost nothing remained but the outside walls. Wow. What became of Madame LaLaurie after her crimes were exposed? Though the house still stands on the corner of Royal Street, the whereabouts of Madame LaLaurie are still unknown. What? Really? After the dust settled, the woman and her driver were missing, assumed to have fled to Paris. However, there was no word of her ever making it to Paris. Her daughter claimed to have received letters from her, though no one had ever seen them. Oh shit, look. It is cemented shut. That one window. The victims of Madame Laurie were buried on the property and are said to haunt the grounds to this day. Even after 2 centuries, locals refuse to call LaLaurie Mansion by her name, referring to it simply as the haunted house. In the late 1930s, an old cracked copper plate was found in New Orleans St. Louis Cemetery bearing the name LaLaurie, Madame Delphine McCarty, LaLaurie's maiden name. The inscription on the plaque in French claims that Madame LaLaurie died in Paris on December 7th, 1842. Really? However, the mystery remains alive as other records located in Paris claim that she died in 1849. Despite the plaque and the records, it was widely believed that while LaLaurie made it to Paris, she came back to New Orleans under a new name and continued to reign her terror. I hope not.
I wouldn't be
To this day,
surprised.
yeah, me neither.
Whenever you want a break, I have the other one ready. No hurry.
Okay, I think I'm almost done this. To this day, the body of Madame Marie Delphine LaLaurie has never been found. I can't even understand any of this. It's not in English. Oh, this one might be. Who's Elizabeth Bathory? Or untrue. Oh, okay. So yeah, that's it. And then it says down here to read about Marie Laveau. We can do that on another one. I want to see what you got to show.
Oh, okay. This is just a walking tour, showing more of them. If you want me to fast forward, I will. It shows them up close. I can fast forward to Marie Laveau's. They do not, I couldn't find a video that actually showed that plaque you were just talking about.
Oh, okay. Me too, Patty. I love stuff like this. Elizabeth was a woman who put virgin blood on her face and body to make herself young. Really? So it wasn't just LaLaurie that did it.
There was a woman, and I can't remember her name. She would bathe in the blood of her victims.
I thought that was LaLaurie.
This was in Europe,
Maybe okay, then it would have been this one, maybe this Elizabeth Bathory.
possibly. Vandals have destroyed the cemetery.
The
As I've
candles?
mentioned, vandals.
Oh, okay.
Those are the ones that broke in and stole my neighbor's father's head skull.
Wow, are you serious? That is wow. Well, because they're all above, right? So I guess it would be fairly easy. That is horrible.
They did find it.
They did?
It
Wow.
took several years, and it was a voodoo group that actually had it. DNA confirmed that it was him.
Wow.
DNA and dental records.
Strange arrow.
That's awesome that they found it. It's
Yes.
sad that it was taken. I'm just really surprised and happy for you that they found it.
Horrifying.
Yeah.
I mean, why would somebody do that? Look at that. The destruction is horrible.
It is.
Patty, I'm going to drop a link for Metairie Cemetery at the very end for anyone who just wants to watch it.
Oh, okay, thank
I'll
you.
do that. I'll do that in chat.
It is estimated that Elizabeth Bathory sacrificed hundreds of girls. Wow.
I'm not sure if it's considered at the end of the French Quarter, Patty.
Hey, Trio.
You're welcome. I'll have to look up the exact streets for you, Patty. He gave it in the other video, but off the top of my head, I don't remember. St.
Patty
Louis,
wants to
number
know where
one.
this one. Oh, never mind. So you can see what I put on screen then?
Actually, I'm looking at the chat on my phone so I can type if I need to with the sound turned
Oh,
off.
good. Okay, then.
I've actually never visited the cemetery, which is why I'm not
No,
exactly sure the location.
I'd love to go. It's beautiful. I actually have one down the road from me and I really want to go. What does that mean? Nikki looks great. What's happening? What the hell does that mean? Do I always look like shit or something, Trio? Happy Valentine's Day to you too, shithead.
Happy Valentine's Day to you. And shame on you for being a. When I post the one about Metairie Cemetery, go ahead and put it on 2x speed if you decide to watch it. It's very long. Even at 2 speed, it's still very slow moving because he's walking slowly. But you will see some
Okay.
beautiful tombs compared to these. These are just,
Yeah,
most
I
of them are
love
just
that.
so old. I actually may know the family that's buried there.
Oh, really?
I'm not sure if they're buried in Chalmette, Louisiana, which is a suburb, or in St. Louis, number 1. You're right, Patty. This cemetery is not safe,
No way.
which is one of the reasons it was closed well before COVID to anyone except family or tourists. This is Marie Laveau's tomb.
You guys hear that? I hear that. It's freaking me out. It's like a bunch of scratches. Weird. What are the X's for? Do you know?
Um, it's not exactly voodoo. It is, but it isn't. You do the 3 X's. You walk around the tomb 3 times. You make a wish, and I think there's one other step, and you touch the tomb, and you make a wish, and your wish is
Where did
supposed to
that?
come true. It's wind in the video. She shouldn't, Patty. I do believe that since this was filmed, that they remodeled her tomb, like replastered the outside to fill in some of the X's that were carved. And I think they've painted it blue, but people still mark it.
Yeah, I wouldn't touch anything. No, that's just like blasphemy. Just don't. No.
When I was little, my parents took care of our plot in Metairie Cemetery, and we went every Sunday. And I would run up and down the streets. The streets are in quote, and I would try to look into the tombs. Some have glass doors. Others, I would peep through the keyhole to see what was inside.
The glass doors, that's just like a tomb in there, right? So you can't really see anything.
Some actually had like a pedestal with a coffin on top,
Oh
enclosed
wow.
in whatever. It was, I believe, in the Metairie Cemetery video, you can see a few of those.
Okay.
As a little kid, I was hoping to find bones.
Her body or a skull. Yeah, I don't mess with graves. I will take a video of them, just enjoy them. Maybe take a picture here and there. I would never touch them or like wanted, yeah.
Deface, no.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was beautiful, Patty, when you sent those. They were beautiful. Yeah, the angel sister. Oldest wall vault type of burial facility. Really? That's so neat looking.
I wouldn't touch her tomb, Patty.
Yeah, me neither. I think, nah, Bad vibes, I would imagine, for sure.
My house was that I grew up in and that I owned was originally built on what was a swamp. They filled it in,
Hmm.
and they supposedly had voodoo rituals in the area. And when we first moved in, I was 6, and I saw a shadow of a woman, like with a turban, with a knife swinging down. Yes, I
Oh,
never
hell
did.
no.
Oh, yeah. That always had this weird vibe in that house. I never liked it. As soon as I
No.
moved out of it, that feeling when I walked in this house was so completely different. That house always felt oppressive.
Yeah, I can imagine. You can always feel it, and it's like the air is really tight. It's like, I don't know, thick in there. You just know.
Fortunately, I only saw that once.
Good.
World War II.
I wish you'd show more of the old tombs and not some of the newer burials.
I think my son has food, and my dog's barking at him because he shut the door on him. Meanie.
You are
All right, that's it for the videos until the very end.
That was awesome. Thank you. I love
You're
stuff
welcome.
like that.
Well, it's
Yeah,
so
poor
different.
Jack, right? Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say it's just so different from how everyone else buries around the country
It is.
and and
I
the
mean,
world.
I only know I guess the traditional graveyards. I never see anything like that. Like, that's pretty neat. Can you let him in? Do you have food or something? You have food. Stop shutting the door on your brother. Yeah, like he's gonna have a heart attack out there. You don't make him do that, you jerk. Give him a pace. Leland, you're a bad boy. Yes, you are. You're grounded. He probably is eating a crumb because you didn't give him one, you meanie.
Eating like crust or a crumb on the ground.
Next time, give him one. Oh, please. Reason why is due to below sea level. They can't put them into ground. Yeah. So this link is for the cemetery.
The Metairie Cemetery, because Patty said she couldn't wait to see it, so she's not in our
Okay, I'll have
Discord, so I dropped it, and I'll drop it again at the end.
And I can never click the link in StreamYard. I don't, stupid. I have to usually do it on
Okay, it's in Discord, so you should be able to get it from there. I actually think Madame
okay, I'm just gonna find it.
LaLaurie's husband,
Managing moderators can support your channel in even more ways. Really. Introducing managing moderators. These users have the same capabilities as standard mods, but in addition, they can manage blocked words and change chat modes in the live. Really? Oh, that is cool. I did not know that. Oh, there we go.
I was going to say, I actually think her husband was responsible for a lot of the atrocities since he was a
Yeah.
physician, and he was cruel to her. She actually filed for separation, and they were to. But he was back at the house when they went to her. So as a doctor, removing the intestines, wrapping,
I know,
wrapping,
right?
yeah.
I'm just gonna mute myself because I have a feeling. Well, let me know if I echo, okay?
When the stakes are high at work,
You're echoing.
Hey y'all, it's Andrew.
Andrew.
Today I'm going to take you on a walk through Metairie Cemetery. This is, I want to say, the biggest, definitely the most visually impressive cemetery in town. It's got an Egyptian pyramid, it's got tons of stained glass, it's got a castle. We'll see all that stuff. We actually did a video in this cemetery previously in which we shared some of the stories about the monument. So if you get curious about the background behind what you're seeing, check that one out. We'll link you. But this one is just going to be about the atmosphere, just doing an uncommentated walk through the place. And we've got some other videos coming out soon about how to pay a visit to various cemeteries in town. So check that one out. Keep an eye out for it. If you wanted to visit this one, there's a couple ways you could get here pretty easily. If you've got a car, there's a vehicle entrance. And it's not that hard to do, but it's a little of a strange.
This is beautiful too.
It's kept up very well. I'm not sure if he shows it, but Ruth from Ruth's Chris Steakhouse has a very large memorial tomb, and it's absolutely beautiful.
That one there almost looks like the beginning of like a Disney castle or something. Holy cow. Oh, there's an echo. It's not me? Okay.
You can see the raised flat plots in the background. Okay, Patty, I just put in MapQuest, and St. Louis #1 is just to the side of the French Quarter, so it's right off of it. It's definitely walking distance.
I don't want to show too much more of this just because I keep getting what do you call them? Not strikes, but copyright claims, and I have to keep fighting them. So I'd rather don't want the hassle. The link is in the description if you guys want to look at it. It is pretty. It is very pretty. You're playing it on your phone. Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, I just don't want to get in trouble because there's one what was it? The members only live, the last one I did. Oh, I can't even I can't monetize it. It won't let me for various reasons. So I gotta be careful. I think I am gonna go though. My kids got me hungry now. We ended up getting that I'm fixing too. My son's school had a fundraiser, so I ended up purchasing Little Caesars garlic Italian cheesy bread or whatever. It is great. And I still have some left. And I'm pretty sure it's calling my name. Thanks for joining me. This was fun. I want to do the what one's the other one? LeBeau. Mary LeBeau, right? We should do that one.
Just
Like,
let me know when.
yeah.
Thank you for having me.
I have a live stream Thursday. And Friday night is usually movie night. We need to pick a movie. You did suggest the Kristen Smart or no? No, it was Elizabeth.
Elizabeth Smart.
I don't know. Yes, that's who it was. You're getting sleepy? Oh, I'm sorry. Well, check it out. It'll be on my channel, that link, so you guys can watch it. I'm gonna watch the rest of it while you eat. I don't know. I'll probably be doing something tomorrow, like on here. I don't think I have any plans. All right. Well, you guys have a good night, and thank you for joining me. I'll be back tomorrow, I'm sure, sometime during the day, anyways. And thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. Great day, Mom.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
That was fun. All right. Have a good night, guys.